It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
Welcome to Car Con Carne. I'm James Van Alstyne. Happy Hump Day. Car Con Carne is sponsored by our friends at Siren Records McHenry out there on Main Street in McHenry. Stop by for all the new stuff and all the good stuff just waiting for you in the bins. All that used stuff that's awesome to rifle through. It's like going to a library, except you can buy stuff and take it home. Siren Records McHenry. Also, as we're recording this on Wednesday the 23rd. I will tell my guest, Mike Lustre, right now, the show is also sponsored by Phonation, a Chicago podcast compilation. 10 Chicago podcasts pressed to vinyl. That's the goal.
Wow.
10 right?
You were the guys messing up the vinyl the vinyl situation right
I'm not
now.
messing up anything
I'm
yet.
kidding.
My goal is to disrupt it if we get funded on Friday.
Yeah.
This is just pure ambition and balls at this point.
No, it feels great to hold a piece of vinyl.
It does, and we'll talk about your vinyl in a second. But so Friday is the deadline, 8 p.m. to get 10 Chicago podcasts pressed onto vinyl. I don't think it's been done before. If it doesn't happen this way, someone's going to do it. So it may as well be me. 10 very different Chicago podcasts, including Think 180, the podcast where Chris out there at Ink 180, the tattoo shop in Oswego, does tattoo cover-ups for victims of human trafficking, people trying to get out of the gang life. He talks about that in his podcast.
I listened to a little of that today.
Did you really?
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, ooh.
So
I checked it out for a couple minutes, but then I dropped it because I was like, ooh, it's
heavy stuff.
Yeah, I'm getting back to it. I'll get back to it.
Yeah, this dude like goes to prisons and stuff. He's really doing impressive work. That's one of the 10, Mike Lust. Also, a true crime podcast, If the Walls Could Talk, about the corruption, the massive amount of corruption at Edgewater Hospital, where I was born. That's just 2 of the 10 podcasts. Please help. Again, the deadline, if you're listening to this or watching this anytime before Friday the 25th at 8 p.m., you can get your hands on a copy of this record. It is Phonation. Go to Kickstarter. Search Phonation, P-H-O, Nation. That guy right there, he is Mike Lust. His new album, Demented Wings, kicks all kinds of ass. We're going to eat wings tonight. I want to thank Dante's.
We're eating. I didn't even make that connection.
Dude, that's why I'm a broadcaster.
I'm not that clever. Demented Wings. We're going to eat some Demented Wings.
We are. Thanks to our friends at Dante's. Thanks to Tim at Dante's, Mike, who's working there tonight. Dante's it's a Chicago favorite.
Well, I was telling you on the walk up to the car that it's kind of been just a lifesaver during the pandemic. It's kind of been my go-to, and I eat wings probably 3 times a week.
See, I was wondering, they just kind of prepared a bag of food for us, and it included wings. And in my wildest dreams,
Do you like wings?
I love wings.
But have you ever eaten wings in a car during a podcast? Because that's
eaten,
like messy eating.
Oh, I've had soup in the car. I've had ribs in the car.
Okay, at this point, you've done what, 250, 300 episodes?
At this point, well, including all the stuff I did during the pandemic, I think this is episode 625 or 626.
Oh, shit, 625.
I know. I've been doing this for 7.5 years.
So do you do this nightly?
No, although this week, yes, but no.
Okay.
During the pandemic, when I was doing it from home, I did it every night because it was a way to keep the podcast aloft and it was a way to keep me busy. But it is highly impractical and difficult to do this in person at different restaurants every night.
Yeah,
that would literally be a full-time job, which would be cool if it were a full-time job. But at this point, this is still the side hustle.
Yeah, I want you to pardon me if I have more questions for you tonight.
I would love it.
Than you have for me, because I grew up in Berwyn.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved to Chicago. I moved down to the city in 96. But do people ever come on the podcast and tell them, you're the voice of their childhood?
I've had people say they listened to me.
Yeah, you're certainly not the voice of my childhood because we're closer in age. But I definitely there is a point in my life where I knew the name James Van Alstyne, and I knew your voice. Like hearing it now is in the confines of a car is a fucking trip. Can we swear?
Yeah, it's a podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. Fucking A, Mike.
But so, I mean, yeah. So I'm a kid in Berwyn, coming up on Q101. So I don't want to ask you too much about Q101 if you don't want to talk about it. But that was such a huge thing, and especially like Nevermind comes out when I'm, I think, 18.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, 91, because oh shoot, don't do the math, people.
Math is hard. This is hard. This isn't a math crowd. Don't worry about it.
Rock and roll isn't about math, but and math is for liars. But listen, but yeah, that station was like just fucking booming. It was
the right place at the right time, and for my career, it was the right place.
It certainly was. So, what years were you there?
Oh God, I was there. I started as an intern in 1993.
Okay, so you're right in the pocket there.
Right in the pocket. My first full-time job, my first job there was November of 93, and then I was at the station from 93 until December of 2000, then back again in 2005 to 2006, and then back again like 2010, 2011. So 10 years total at Q101.
But were they like, did you keep coming back because they're like, this guy's the part of the DNA?
Yes and no.
Okay.
It was weird. I wrote a book about it. It was a strange time.
Oh, I gotta get that book. I should have done like my my Letterman type research.
We're here to talk about you, but I also want to talk about Dante's because they were generous enough to provide their amazing food. I love Dante's. They provided slices. I don't even know what kind of slices.
Yeah, should we open it up?
And they provided wings, which, to your point, this will be treacherous to eat in the car.
Yeah, but we're gonna do it.
Yeah, there's a level of
even if it's a mess, and people. I know you can see me. I have a very ZZ Top like beard.
I was gonna say you can catch whatever falls. You can catch in your beard.
It's true. But yeah, but in closing, that your voice is like tripping me out a little bit right now. I gotta say.
Ooh, pepperoni.
Sure, I'll take a slice of pepperoni, unless there's something.
You want to hold that for something better?
No, there's something not as favorable for you. There are 2 slices of pepperoni. Do you eat pepperoni?
Yeah, I love pepperoni.
All right. Let's eat some pepperoni pizza.
Mine will be a little more challenging. Jesus. Mine's... I've already got to pick it up with my hands, and I know... Oh, shit. Okay. Mine's a little disaster. We're going to work on that. Let's get the wings out. Oh, these are still hot.
Yeah. Oh, so if that was treacherous, but you're getting the wings out?
I can smell them. I need to open it. It's
okay.
You know, like those old cartoons, like in Scooby-Doo, where the scent fingers come down the hall and they hook you by the nose and pull you down the hallway? That's what these wings are doing to me right now. Look at that. Oh, my God, they smell so good, Mike.
They do. They've been I swear to God, James, they've been my go-to the entire pandemic.
Oh, my God. All right, so... I mentioned Demented Wings is the new album, the solo album from Mike Lust. You may know Mike Lust from Tight Phantomz or back in the day, and we'll talk about the 90s. We'll talk about Lustre King.
Okay.
But this is your solo record. What is the coolest song on the album, and why is it Centipede?
Oh, I saw you reply to that Dennis Buckley post, which made me smile so much because I don't know if I know him.
Dennis is the lead singer of
80. Oh, I know that. I mean, I know the backstory, but aside from that, I don't know him very well. I know, John from Paper Mice, who plays drums for them. And of course, I know their old drummer Glenn Porter, and. So yeah, I've known about, and I'm a Fireside kid, so I've known about 88 Fingers Louie, like all my life. But I can't. And Dennis, forgive me if we.
Well, here's
we
the
never
thing.
met. But Dennis, I found out. My publicist Katie lived with Dennis.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't even know that.
So he's probably they were roommates. So he's probably getting bombarded with these silly Mike Lust posts, and so he.
Well, Dennis is also of all my friends. Of all previous guests on Car Con Carne, he is a legit, no bullshit about it, music fan.
Okay,
that dude listens to everything. He is. I look at him as one of our modern day curators, and curation's a topic I keep coming back to. People who you can trust, who are sincere. He is a music curator to me, and he turned me onto idols, which I'll forever be grateful to him for. So if he's a fan of your album, which he is, and Dan Santeria I know is a favorite of his.
Well, that was really sweet of him to say that the record was damn near perfect. Because Katie was like, he doesn't say things like that.
Yeah, he's a punk.
Yeah, exactly. But that felt really sweet. And then I saw your comment about Centipede, and the next day my sister sent me a post, or not a post, I'm sorry. My sister sent me a text about Centipede, and...
So Centipede is an instrumental.
It is an instrumental, and it's only an instrumental. Well, do you want me to tell the story of that song?
Yeah, sure.
So...
By the way, we're going to spend more time talking about this album and your career than it takes to actually listen to the album. Like, in the time it'll take you to finish that pizza, you can listen to the entire album.
10 songs, 25 minutes. A good walking album, people. If you're going out for a walk tomorrow, be it a dog, be it to the bar.
That's right.
Be it to work, put it on. Demented Wings, Mike Luss. It's 25 minutes, and it will start on your way out the door and be over when you show up to work.
It's so good.
By
the way, speaking of so good, I'm eating this. There's no easy way for me to eat this because it's been folded over.
Dante's, you got to fold.
This is the cheese. There's a sweetness to this. Ooh, a couple Bernese Mountain Dogs walking by. Sorry, dog fan.
Oh, yeah. Those are beautiful. And two. As if one.
I have one at home. She's the most stubborn.
Really?
Yeah, the most stubborn dog you'll ever meet.
How old?
She's 3.
Oh, my God, baby.
A baby. She's actually tiny. She's like 65, 70 pounds, which in burner poundage means she's very, very small.
Well, she must be fucking cute.
She is.
Look,
She very much is. All right, so anyway, we're talking about you, not dogs.
Okay.
And pizza.
Yeah, the pizza's awesome tonight. Thank you, Dante's. Centipede. Years ago, a girlfriend made me a mix CD, and it had this Brigitte Bardot song called "Contact" on it. It's a Serge Gainsbourg composition.
Okay.
And the bass line is just boom, 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 boom. And you know these goddamn algorithms on Spotify and such. Like, I love waking up every Monday morning and there's like, they made you a new, they made you a 30-song folder that they think you might like. And God damn it, if they're not spot on sometimes. Like, oh, Mike, remember you liked this Built to Spill song when you went through that breakup? And I was like, God, yes, I did. Do.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And they're like, you want another version of Wichita Lineman? I'm like, yes, I do. They're like, do you want another version of This Guy's in Love with You by Burt Bacharach? I'm like, yes, I do. So, but that Brigitte Bardot song shows up in my Discover Weekly. I'm like, you bastards, man. You remember.
Yeah, they know too much.
Yeah, you're inside my brain. So, during the pandemic, or let's not even call it the pandemic, let's call it the situation. So during the situation, I was going to the studio every night. I started to find the story arc of this record.
Did you set out to make a solo album? Or were you thinking this would be like a full band?
I always knew I would make a solo album. And then Tight Phantomz, the band I'm in, Tight Phantomz, that I think we've been around for maybe 16 years or so now. I've been the constant throughout various lineup changes, but this time we started to feel like more of a band, and I started to feel like I shouldn't put all these, like, we're making a record too, slowly, and I felt like I should leave off some of these auxiliary songs or these interstitial songs that just don't fit with the band we have now. And
makes sense.
I thought it would be great to do a Mike Luss record, or not necessarily a band record, because I wanted to reach a broader audience. sometimes when you're in a band called Tight Phantomz that's been around for 16 years and there's a Z at the end of the name, people are just like, all right, that's a hard rock band. I know what that is. I don't need to check it out.
Was the Z meant to be tongue-in-cheek?
No, I mean, it came off that way, but it was honestly genuine. I just thought it would look more badass on some kid's notebook.
That's amazing.
Like, I really envisioned it on some kid's notebook. That's how
because you were that kid growing up listening to music.
Exactly. I had the VH, and I learned the Metallica font and the Iron Maiden font.
Mm-hmm.
So I was cocky enough when we started that band to think some kid's going to put this on his notebook, and we put the Z at the end. But, you know, a blessing and a curse. It's people see that and they don't always take it so seriously. They might not check out your new music if there's a Z tag to the end of it. I mean, you know more than anyone how fickle the record buying public, not even the record buying public,
The
but
music
just people,
consuming?
Yeah, the music consuming public is, and like checking out new music. I'm just wanting people to check it out. Just listen to it. If you listen to Danceteria, you'll probably like it.
Oh yeah, that's the gateway drug to the album.
Mm-hmm.
And Centipedes, just this, going back to what you were saying, right? I'm not sure where you're going with the Brigitte Bardot.
Okay.
It's just a cool. It does have that kind of retro, almost like 60s.
Well, here's where I'm going with it. I was going to, like I said, I was going to the studio every night during the pandemic. That's where I was quarantining.
During the incident.
During the situation.
That's right.
And I would go home basically just to sleep. And I'm like, if I can't put a record together during this time, I got problems. So I would just, whatever I was inspired by when I was making coffee that day, when I was getting out of my pajamas, when I was taking a shower, I heard that song. That song came up and I was like, oh, shit. I'm going to the studio tonight to make a song with this bass line.
That's interesting. Okay.
Very bass line. So, I went to that's just the story. A lot of these songs on Demented Wings are just a product of one night. Whatever I was inspired by that day, I'd go to the studio and make that kind of song. If I was listening to Spoon, I would go make my version of Spoon. Of course, it wouldn't come out that way. But
I'm glad you're saying this, because when you listen to the album, it's cohesive, but it definitely goes in a bunch of different directions. I mean, the cohesion is just, it's from your mind.
Yeah, it's from my mind, and it's the same guy, the same little weird Muppet dude singing over every song. So that's kind of the common thread.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You've never been a fan of your own singing, have you?
No, never.
But I think you'd agree, as that kid who grew up writing band logos on notebooks, swagger is like 9/10.
Oh, and I learned that in Lustre King, and we'll get back to that. But yeah, I went and made a song aping "Contact" by Brigitte Bardot, Serge Gainsbourg, and I actually had to put it in the liner notes.
Oh, see, I haven't seen the liner notes.
When the record comes out, you'll see it, because I was very fearful that I would get called on it, because it's close.
Okay.
I put a little, I wouldn't even call it a chorus, but I put another counter hook in it that, in keeping with the 60s theme, I love the old Spider-Man cartoons.
Oh, yeah.
And
wait, are you talking like the Spider-Man cartoons? Like, it got psychedelic and weird.
It got
one
weird.
season. Like, it was pretty straightforward, like a comic book one season. Then it got really like lots of weird colors and like jazz club stuff going on.
That's the thing. All the music was, the score for that cartoon is so incredible, and people get on YouTube because someone made a compilation on YouTube of just the musical sections of that cartoon, and it's so disjointed that it makes its own little hilarious Spider-Man story. But it was like a weird, like jazz flute loungy feeling. It was like a real Hepcat type of jazz in that Spider-Man cartoon. And so I put a little Spider-Man counter melody in there, and you'll hear it, that just disrupts that bass line enough.
The fact that we're here talking about pizza, Spider-Man and music makes me regret that we haven't done this before in the past 30 years we've been in the same ecosystem together.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, me too. That's why, and it's wild to just meet you today because we have a lot of friends and
Sure.
colleagues in common. I joked about talking while I have a mouthful of food, but we're doing it.
Oh, yeah. And here's proof that Dante's is delicious. These are my interview notes. There we go. There's the pepperoni pizza.
I'm grabbing the blue cheese.
Oh, please do. Please do. There's a little bit of heat in the pizza, which I like. It's just enough to make you think, oh.
Is it in the pizza or is it in the wing you ate?
The pizza. I haven't had a wing yet. So a little bit, I don't know if it's, maybe it's just crushed red pepper. I don't know what it is, but I like it because the pizza itself is very sweet. Mm-hmm. So it's a nice balance. All right, this is going to be...
I'm already making a mess.
All right, is this ranch or is this also blue cheese?
I think it might be ranch. I think if Tim over at Dante's knows me, Tim Murphy, he gave me a
This is
ranch.
blue cheese.
He gave me a ranch and a blue cheese.
This has to be blue cheese.
Do you like ranch?
I'm fine
You
with
want
both.
to swap because this actually has an R.
Oh, that's fine. If you're more hardcore blue cheese, you can do blue cheese.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I mean, Tim is just nailing me tonight, though.
Look at this. This is not going to be an easy thing to eat.
Oh
do you
shit! I forgot we were eating on camera.
Well, that's why I do this podcast. Conversation is much easier over food. People tend to not pay attention to what's going on. It's a lot more relaxed.
Why the car is the vessel?
Kind of a long story. I started this podcast with a friend of mine 7.5 years ago, and we wanted to do a food podcast and realized that there was no way to do it inside restaurants for reasons of acoustics, and also restaurant owners probably wouldn't groove on it.
This is kind of like doing one in an ISO booth.
That's where I'm going with this. He is a voiceover artist, and he said, whenever I'm not near my home studio and I have to do an audition or cut a voice track, I always travel with my mic and my laptop, and I just jump in my car because it's the closest thing I can do to being in an ISO booth at home.
It's a car.
And that's kind of what led to us, getting the gear and miking up my Mazda.
Yeah, he's pro as hell.
He is pro as hell.
That is a good call. Maybe someday I'll cut a vocal in a car. I love this idea.
I had Tiffany playing in here.
That was yesterday.
2 days ago.
Oh, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
That was, I noticed the second time you had her on. Mm-hmm. That's incredible. I mean,
I laughed and inhaled a lot of spice at the same time. Shit.
No, that's, Katie told me that yesterday. She's like, he's having Tiffany on. I'm like, think we're alone now, Tiffany? Or Tiffany who works down at Pep Boys. Which one?
I'm sure Tiffany from Pep Boys is very nice.
She's great.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right, going back to the album, Demented Wings. This is definitely spicy. These are perfect, actually.
they're awesome.
Because you have some wings at some places, they're spicy to the point where it's just painful. It's just it's you're eating them quickly just so that you get done with it.
Oh, I don't want a challenge.
No, I like heat, but I like flavor.
Yeah,
that's it.
We're on the same page, James.
So we talked about Danceteria briefly.
Mm-hmm.
A Dennis Buckley favorite.
Nice.
Pandemic inspired? That song?
Yeah. As much as I'd like to not admit that, because I don't want, and I was really cautious when we were shooting the video that I wanted to show the sort of suspended animation we're all going through, and then make it a little Twilight Zone-y, but I don't want it to be like time stamped or like a period piece, especially like when we look back on this in 5 years. You don't want to be like, oh God, was that my that my The Rising?
Oh my God!
But
great pull.
But yeah, my gear was at my house when the pandemic came on and the situation came on, and so I was like, oh wow, like what nice serendipity that most of my mobile rig is here in my living room, and the world shut down the other day. So I set everything up, and I just started making us. I was watching that Go-Go's documentary,
which is great.
It's awesome. It's so awesome. I still am paying that damn Showtime fee every month because I just got it to watch that.
I did too, and I the second I signed up for the subscription through Amazon Prime, I very quickly went into my account and canceled the subscription because I knew I wouldn't watch anything else.
I did start watching something else that lured me into paying the monthly fee, but I was watching that documentary, and they were going through. Jane Weedland was going through the motions of writing "Our Lips Are Sealed," and just hearing that, like the acoustic demo of it, just kind of drove the point home that how great of a song that is. When I was...
Dude, before that documentary was over, I ordered their first 2 albums for delivery.
Oh, yeah.
Like, before I was done watching it, I had the 2 albums in the mail.
Oh, yeah. It was out of the sleeve before it was over. But when I was little, my sister got a Monte Carlo. Do you know, like...
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is...
The big boat?
Yeah. This is in 82. She got her first car, and it had a sunroof. I think I was... maybe 8 or 9 years old, and she rolls up to our house. She's like, "Michael, get in." And it was almost like they gave her the Go-Go's tape when she bought the car, because she had the Monte Carlo, she had the new car, the 38 Special tape, and the Go-Go's tape, and we just were bumping Our Lips Are Sealed, and I was hanging out the sunroof of this car because I'd never experienced a sunroof before. You got one right here.
I do.
But that song has always had like holds a really close place in my heart. It's so
Great
good.
Song. That bass line.
Yeah, the bass line. But I realized that it starts with just a raw drum beat. Like, there's a few measures of the drums before the band comes in.
Right.
So I'm like, another opportunity to that's the song I'm going to make tonight. So that afternoon I just looped Our Lips Are Sealed and slowed it down. So it's like boom, 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 boom.
Okay,
boom,
I hear it now.
And so I wrote my own little slow, Robitussin version of Our Lips Are Sealed. And because I'm running it through my filter, it's no longer a Go-Go's song.
It's an awesome song. Justifiable first single. By the way, not my first rodeo. I do have baby wipes.
That's awesome. This is actually your 4th rodeo.
It is. My nose is running now, Mike. Oh, my God. Well, the album, again, it's so quick. If you blink, you might miss the whole album. It opens with Next Hex. Next Hex. Great intro to the album. And as we talk about bass lines, I love the bass on that song.
Oh, yeah. Everyone calls that the Killing Joke bass line. And I didn't think about that at the moment. They weren't like an inspiration in that particular moment. But now I hear it and I'm like, oh, yeah, like that first Killing Joke record. And just that gnarly bass and just the darkness that it brings. Like, I wanted to make a distorted bass song. I didn't know if that was going to be the kickoff of the album. But later on, when you're sort of sequencing a record and you're creating the arc of the album, you're like, oh, God, this is like the opening song.
I like your instrumental approaches. Sunday Night, very different from Centipede. Definitely more of a film score vibe.
Well, I'm super... To be completely honest with you, that's the kind of music I listen to, is Morricone or a lot of Burt Bacharach, a lot of 60s, a lot of Les Baxter and a lot of Exotica. So that's the music that I really, and that's why it's sometimes hard for me to write hard rock songs for Tight Phantomz, because I don't listen to that much hard rock or metal anymore. So it made more sense for me to make a solo record based on the kind of music that I like.
Sure.
Or that I listen to. I mean, I still love hard rock and metal. I've been obsessed the past 2 days with listening to Scott Ian from Anthrax's book on Audible.
Oh, I have that queued up in my Audible list.
Yeah, I had to like,
I'm the Man.
I'm the man. I had to stop to come see you, but so yeah, that instrumental. I mean, I love writing instrumental music, and to be honest, like songs like Centipede and Sunday Night Instrumental, I just couldn't think of how to sing to them. Someone way more talented and a much better singer could. I've even played it for friends and thought, like, what is this vocal melody? I remember for Next Hex, I was having coffee with Aliana from Hex, or not Hex, I'm sorry, Fax, and she's the drummer for Cat Power too. Doing some name dropping here, but she's one of my best friends. But I put the headphones on her, and I was like, how do you sing to this? How would you sing to this? So sometimes, because I haven't really been a singer for that long, I still ask, like, I still want to know the best way.
Of course.
I feel like once I could find a vocal melody, I could, plug in lyrics. But yeah, she helped me with that one. But Centipede and Sunday Night Instrumental, I'm just like, I give up. Well, but it does have that sort of, I love that baritone guitar. I've always been, like I said, I mentioned Wichita Lineman. I'm a big fan of Glenn Campbell and like Calexico and that Desert Highway guitar, that boomy, like, I love Brokeback.
Oh, yeah.
Doug McCombs from Tortoise's band, and like that cinematic Desert Highway guitar,
That's the kind of stuff.
I'm a sucker for it.
Over the past year, I find myself when I've been working from home every day, that's the kind of stuff I want to hear when I'm at home working. Sometimes it's a lot easier for me to focus on cool instrumentals or just work with cool instrumentals in the background than songs with lyrics.
Well, I can't write an email. I can't so much as write an email if songs with lyrics are happening.
Okay, like mine. Because the second I recognize the lyric, or just I key into the vocal, I'm done. I'm off my screen and paying more attention to the music. So like that cool desert type stuff, whether it's Calexico or Brokeback, I love that.
And I love like I said before, the story arc of an album. I like having little interludes.
Totally agree. I think sequencing an album is a lost art. In a world where everything is a la carte, I think it's a lost art.
Well, as a recording engineer, it's my favorite part of making a record with somebody. Is like, all right, we got the first song and we got the last song. We know that. Let's like plug in. Let's make a story out of the movement of this album.
I love that.
That's always been really important to me. And when we did this Tight Phantomz record called Silk Prison, it's 36 songs, 2 discs, 18 songs a disc, 18 songs an album, and that was it took years to come together. And that's kind of why I make music slowly, is because I still think of the album.
As physical media is back in public consciousness and people are buying it, I think that makes a lot of sense. People want to be taken on that journey. And I was having this conversation this morning about Phonation, which we're trying to get funded. The idea of putting on a record. When I listen to digital music, I'm antsy. I ADD my way through songs. I don't listen to the whole thing. But when you put on a side of a record, you're locked into that journey, that story, for 20 minutes. You're not getting up and re-cueing it. You're listening to it, start to finish.
Yeah, I'm almost proud of myself when I like an entire record these days. It's like, man, I did the work. I didn't just listen to the single. I just didn't listen to my two or three favorite songs. There's records in the past 10 years that I've put on the entire record every time. So I still that's the way we grew up,
Yes, absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the guitar. Let's talk about Chrome Intentions. I love the riff. I love the lead guitar on this one. It's a guitar song.
That was kind of the candidate for the first video.
I could see that.
Because it was the most Mike Lust. It was the closest song to Tight Phantomz.
Fair.
And so that's why we didn't do that as the first video, and I'm glad we didn't. But
It's great.
thanks. That was when I actually mentioned it earlier. That was from a day of listening to Spoon, who are one of my favorite bands.
Sure.
I don't mind saying it. Love that fucking band.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I plugged into a really cheap Trainer amp at the studio one night and just started playing that riff, and I'm like, oh man, it sounds like a Spoon riff or something. I'm going to give it a Spoon type drag or swagger. And of course it just never, you run music through your own filter and it just never comes out that way anyway, and that's the beauty of it.
Please grab more wings.
I may. Yeah, I will.
Promise?
Before the interview's over, I will have a wing or two.
Okay, I don't want to be the one eating all the wings.
No.
You're the wing guy.
Please enjoy the wing. No.
You're the
I'll be your wingman.
You're the Demented Wing guy. So the new album,
Plenty
Demented
to eat
Wings,
here.
first round of vinyl already gone. Second round is up for grabs now.
It is.
That's so cool.
It's so cool. I was so happy, especially from a life of toiling in obscurity. For the first pressing to sell out the day of the release, made me feel really good, and then to have my label say we got to think now, we got to act on it, we got to do a second pressing, and I was like, wow, this is wonderful. I felt, last Friday when the record came out, I felt like on a little bit of a natural high from.
And you should.
Someone caring.
It's awesome.
Well, I appreciate that, but I'm just, like I said, I'm from a life of toiling in obscurity, and I've worked so much on other people's music.
Right.
That, I don't know, you're just surprised when, I think, I often think of this quote in that Wilco movie, where Jeff Tweedy says, he's like, every record we make, people are like, this is going to be the record. This is going to be the record. And he says, they say that every record.
Especially with that band. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's true.
And he's like, yeah, it never really turns out that way. But it's, so yeah, I set my bar so low now with things. And I think that's just a healthy thing for me to do.
Manage expectations. As they say in the corporate world, you're managing expectations.
Sure.
But I mean, you've been in the orbit of independent music, as mentioned, since the 1990s.
Yeah.
You've done it all for different bands, Lustre King, Tight Phantomz, solo. You've engineered stuff. Where do you think, or I guess trace the evolution of the Chicago scene from when you started? Where are we at now? Is it better or worse than when you started? Is it just plain different?
Boy, that's a good question. Because I was hanging out with I'm going to do some name dropping again here. So my buddy Jason is in a band called Salvation. Awesome band.
Awesome band. I played them on the radio. I love it.
Yeah, I produced their last helped produce their last record, and called Year of the Fly. Such a great record, and I'm not just saying that because I was a part of it.
No,
these guys write the songs, and they're brutal, and they're heavy, and they're frightening, and they're menacing, and they're everything I love about heavy music. So we were having this discussion today. We were listening to this band called Bunny.
Okay.
From Chicago. It's like capital BNNY. And he's like, I think you would love this. And we talked about like more ambient, like female vocals, like Grouper or early Angel Olsen stuff. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I do really like this. And then we started talking about the new Meat Wave, and then we started talking about this band Dim, and we just went through all these bands that we really love in Chicago right now, Fax being one of them. And we kind of stopped ourselves and just said aloud, holy shit, it's a really good time in Chicago music right now. And it's honestly always been a good time in Chicago music. I mean, I've always felt like if you're acting, you go to LA. If and if you're doing music, you go to Chicago. It's kind of like I just felt like that was what this city, how this, what I recognize this city as, is like an incredible music town, and it has been since since you were an intern, and way before that with the Touch and Go stuff too, God, like the Jesus Lizard, and I don't know, Sea and Cake, Tortoise, all my favorites,
Well, and that's just it. I mean, that diversity of sounds. I mean, this is a town that can support sounds like Sea and Cake or Meat Wave, or, I mean, this is a town that launched the career of Wesley Willis. I mean, just to show you how bonkers and broad the city can be.
Yep, and it can all be on one Saturday afternoon at a wonderful street festival,
Absolutely.
Everyone can coexist, and everyone does coexist, and those are the bills I love, too, are those really oddball, like, genre-wise.
I always prefer those. I want to see a diversity of stuff.
I do too.
Especially on those bills where there are like 3 opening bands. Give me a whole bunch of stuff to think about.
Yeah.
Not just,
Oh, that's a good point. I don't really want to go to any more of those bills that are 3 opening bands, but yeah, do what James says. If give me something to think about if you're going to do that. If I'm going to go to a 4-band bill, I hope that's where
they should all
that's what it is.
Fit together, but they shouldn't sound the same.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I remember going to see Public Enemy and Sonic Youth at the Aragon.
Yes.
And I was in the front row because it was might have been New Year's Day, or it might have been December 29th. It was somewhere around there, but it was cold. And I remember my friends and I went to the Aragon and lined up in the alley.
Yep.
Alongside the Aragon at 11 a.m.
Oh, my God.
They opened up the Aragon, and we darted to our seats and saw fucking Sonic Youth and Public Enemy. And it was incredible.
And it worked.
It worked so well. And, and saw Anthrax and Public Enemy. And I can't remember. There was another thrash band on that. No, it was Primus. That was on the Anthrax Public Enemy bill.
Yeah, that's variety.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Totally. And I was kind of weaned on that stuff. Not weaned, but I was kind of brought up on that stuff. I like that diversity. It's in my music. It's in the flow of my album. It still spills into, it's in my DNA. It still spills into how I sequence a record, getting back to how I sequence a record and the way I write.
When we first started talking tonight, I mentioned swagger, which is like 9/10 of the law, or whatever the metaphor is. Swagger is really important in rock and roll. In the 90s, here in Chicago, swagger was defined by Urge Overkill.
Yep.
At the time, the people who hung out at Rainbow or wherever derided Urge for being careerists who weren't as authentic or pure as the people who are toiling at Empty Bottle every night. That's neither here nor there. What's interesting is you came to work with Urge. You did Rock and Roll Submarine with them, right?
I did do Rock and Roll Submarine with them.
I still listen to Mason Dixon. I think that's a badass song.
I'm sorry, guys. Remember, that was my call to start the record off with that.
It's a great song.
It's an awesome song. And I didn't, the funny thing, the way that record came to me is, it came to me in a shoebox. There was a song that they recorded in a friend's basement. There was a song that was recorded in this. There was 6 songs that we originally did basic tracks at my studio, Phantom Manor. So it was kind of a hodgepodge of. There was, I think, a solo Ed song that was a 4-tracky quiet song, called The Quiet One, and so I was kind of in charge of curating that record and putting it together so that it flowed, because it was really recorded on so many different platforms. So it was a challenge, as much as those guys are a wonderful challenge, as much as I love them, and I love them all personally, holy cow. I had to go to Mexico when that record was done. I literally booked a trip to Mexico when it was done.
Working on that album was actually work.
Oh, yeah, but it was also it was really rewarding, and sometimes you'd get a song like Mason-Dixon, and it's the two of them both trading off singing. It's the classic Urge power chords.
Yep.
It's the classic Urge swagger, and I was like, guys, this has to start the record. Like,
Yep. Oh God, I want to listen to that right now.
and
So good.
so that was so much fun, and I was honored. I was truly honored to do that, and I wouldn't trade my late nights with Nash Cato for anything.
Well, I can only imagine. That's rock and roll stuff right there.
It was really wonderful. I love both those guys. The dude that played drums, his name was Brian Bond, we called him, but he was in the Cherry Valance, if you remember that band, like North Carolina stuff. He was in Polvo when he was playing when we were making that record. And Haji, the bass player, was in Gaza Strippers. So they were
Gaza Strippers was Post Digits.
Yeah, Post Digits. Yeah. What was that guy's name? Rick Sims.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just a hodgepodge of personalities in the room, on top of those two guys who are a wonderful handful.
And Nash is just a cult of personality.
Yeah, I'm truly blessed to have spent that time with those guys.
So, meanwhile, back in the present, your new album is 25 minutes of swagger, invention, interesting directions, and flights of fancy, and it all fucking works. Demented Wings is the album. You can. I love the idea of buying a physical copy, supporting. Go to Bandcamp, buy a record, or your website.
I don't personally have a website.
How about Bandcamp then?
Yeah, Bandcamp's great. I mean, you can get it anywhere. And soon enough, when the physical copies are around, please go to support your local independent record store.
So here we are. We've emerged from. What are we calling it? The incident, the problem,
the situation.
The situation. Sorry, we've
It's
emerged.
here.
We're recording this at the end of June. What's your summer look like? Are you going whole hog with this? Are you working with other bands? What's your plan?
I'm doing all those things. So I've got a lot of projects in the works, helping other bands get their music done, get their music produced. Salvation, who we talked about, we're working on some new stuff.
Great.
Just
real Chicago Fire Engine, kids.
Yeah, that's the real thing. That is not a soundbite. That's not a WAV file. That's not an MP3.
I didn't just push a button on my Rodecaster.
Yeah. I just finished mixing some Dianoga the other night.
Dianoga?
Yeah, that's going to be for...
Wait, I don't even think I realized they were still active.
They are,
I used
and
to
that
love
was...
it.
There's this festival that happens every year called the PRF Barbecue.
Okay.
And right now it's still a virtual festival, and so we did some stuff at what's the coffee? Not Metropolis Coffee.
Yeah, Metropolis.
Yeah, we did a session in their roasting factory, 4 songs.
Get out!
My God, it smelled so good.
I talked to Jay
Yeah,
a
Jay
year or
Ryan.
so ago, and he's a wildly creative, intensely talented dude, far
Fun.
beyond music making.
Oh yeah, no one can touch him.
No, for real.
Like, he sort of reinvented the poster art game.
He did in a cute, cuddly kind of way.
Yeah, one furry little creature at a time.
Yeah, no, he's fantastic. Actually, during the pandemic, one of my favorite conversations was with him because doing it over video, we were able to show his gig posters and have him
that's
talk about
cool.
them. Yeah, I love doing that and kind of picking his brain as he's showing like cool hum posters.
I'll
from
have one
downstage.
more wing for you, James.
Okay, thank you, thank you. I feel better. All right, so you're working with Dianoga.
Yeah, there was the aforementioned band Fax. We just did a film. Above Metro. We shot a film above Metro that came out a couple weeks ago, in the Haunted Theater above Metro.
Top note, right?
Yeah, we did a a film promoting their new record where they played their new album live.
That's cool.
And
that's a cool space.
That came out, yeah, it is. And that came out so good that now they're pressing that to vinyl. So I've been doing a lot of these because that's how we're experiencing music now. Not live streams, but I've been doing this thing where bands film themselves to present it as a concert later. But we record it well and mix it well. So I've been busy doing that. I spent 5 days recording the lyric at the Lyric Opera.
Damn.
Doing
I bet that was
12 or so opera singers doing Italian love songs. That was the gig of a lifetime. That was incredible.
I can't even fathom what that's like.
It was breathtaking. But this summer,
Were you out of your comfort zone, or was it just?
Yeah, but I'm always out of my comfort zone. That's where I have a cot there. You know, I stay there all the time. So, but that's what you do when you're a recording engineer during a time when you got to pick up work when you can get it. I recorded a little bit of everything during the pandemic, the situation, and it was awesome. It kept me afloat. Barely, but it kept me afloat, and
that makes me happy to hear.
I made some really great music, and this summer I've making some really great music for a lot of people, as well as finishing the companion piece to Demented Wings. All the music's done. But the big thing we're doing this summer is we're putting a band together to play Demented Wings live.
There it is. You buried the lead.
Last night, my musical partner, Stephen the Kid Howard, he's in a band. You might know him from Pinebender.
Oh, yeah.
He's my musical partner in Tight Phantomz.
Are you basically the Kevin Bacon of Chicago music? Does everyone... Everyone is connected to you in so many steps?
In some way, yeah. And I never boast, but when... on a quiet afternoon when I'm taking a walk, I'm like, Jesus, I've done like a little bit of everything. At this point, I know everyone and have worked with someone in some capacity or, so.
The key to being, one key to being successful in a city like Chicago is just don't leave. Keep working and don't leave.
Yeah, persistence. I'm a lifer.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
I'm so much of a lifer, I'm doing a radio show in my car now. Yeah.
This is gross.
That's part of the fun.
I have to take this out of my mouth because I took a big bite while I was really onto something. But I'm never really onto something. I always ramble. But I took a big bite and it was just all bones.
Yeah.
So, and, when you eat chicken wings, you're going to hit that point if you're not paying attention.
Other podcasts don't give you that kind of action.
Yeah. But
that's the car carne difference right there.
But yeah, I'm a lifer. Like I will bartend. I'll stand at the door. I'll do anything to keep making music, to keep this going. I have zero fucking pride.
That's not what it is.
No, it's not what it is. I just love it too much. I just need to do it, and I don't like to say no to helping someone make their music or get their music out there, or we'll never like stop at the chance to help someone produce a song or two or produce their album. And for years I did that AV Undercover show.
That's right.
For The Onion, and that was, man, like working on people's records and making my own music, and then doing this show where when you do. Sometimes you turn around and you have 300 episodes of something, where we did everyone from Wang Chung to Guar to They Might Be Giants.
I bet that was a blast.
It was awesome. And so I've never really stopped working, and I've gleaned something from every single session I've done. And
that's what I was going to say. As an engineer, you're learning stuff. No matter how accomplished you are, you're learning every new person you work with, every new artist, you're picking up new stuff.
Oh, yeah, and you bring it to your music.
Yep.
And so I don't know if I really even think about my own music that much. I just one day, I don't know, I just know how to finish a song, or one day I just know how to do it from something I've picked up from somebody else. it's pretty remarkable how to look back on 20 years of making music, like good and bad.
Well, and more than that, right? Lustre King was mid-'90s.
Yeah, it was. We started in '96 and it went to '99, and we were like predominantly instrumental band, but we were on Southern Records, so we, that label was kind of popping for a while, and so we had some great opportunities and did some awesome things, and that kind of opened me up to recording three band, like Sweep Like Johnny, a folk artist named William Elliott Whitmore, and a hardcore band called 10 Grand. So I made these 3 records, all Southern related things, and that's when I was able to start my recording career from those 3 records and that label, Southern. So yeah, Lustre King was a lot of fun, and it was where I got my own personal swagger from.
I love it. I should mention, we're recording this about a block away from Dante's. We're by Winchester in Chicago. Is it just me, or has everyone who's walked by the car looked incredibly fit? I feel like a troll, like a creature that lives under the bridge.
You ever? Yeah, I was going to ask if these windows are tinted.
Not so much.
Have you ever been to Miami?
Never, but I'm sure it's more of that.
Oh, it's just everyone's so goddamn gorgeous, and it's like sickening after a while. You just you jump in the pool, and then you're like, I'm just gonna stay underwater for a while.
Exactly.
And you're like, you see, I'm gonna wait till those people go to the bar to get out of the pool. It's exactly like that.
All right, Mike Lust, I'm gonna let you eat a little more off camera if you feel a little better about that.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm satiated.
Well, that's an important thing. Love the new album. Love talking to you. And
Thank you so much. It was so great to meet you.
Likewise. Can we do this again, like down the road this year?
I noticed that you've had guests on multiple times, so I would love to come back. This was so much fun, and this is, have me back anytime.
Good. Once you start touring with the
I'm
new
a little
band,
chatty Cathy,
or performing with the new band, we'll do
let me mention this though, really quickly, if I may. So last night, my partner and I had a talk about putting together the kid. Stephen the Kid Howard is my musical director and band leader for this, so I don't have to be the bad cop. So we talked about putting together a band to perform. Yeah. We've had offers to come do this stuff now that the record's doing okay, but I just didn't think the world was coming back this quickly.
No one did.
I found
there's no buffer. We're here. Okay.
Yeah, I found true comfort in the fact that I could put out this record. I don't have to think about a record release show.
Yeah.
I don't have to think about putting together a band because I've recorded most of the instruments myself, and the world coming back happened to sync up with the record coming out. So now we did meet to put together a band, and hopefully I want to have like a real eclectic gathering of musicians on stage with a gang mentality, and we attack these songs the way they need to be, and create like a very create a powerful what's the word I'm looking for? A powerful read of the record that's not exactly how the record sounds. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully we'll be on stage by September.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And that'll be the belated record release show.
No rush. Do it on your own terms, on your own time. We'll be there for you.
Yeah. You'll have wings ready?
Fuck yeah.
Demented Wings. You'll have a slice of pepperoni ready?
That was delicious. Thanks again to Dante's for their hospitality. That's Mike Lust. Go listen to his music. Go support him. Go buy yourself a hard copy of the record. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.